In 1884, no African leader was invited. No African voice was heard, yet in one quiet European room, the fate of an entire continent was decided. This was not a war, it was a meeting, and Africa has been living with its consequences ever since. The room was warm, elegant, decorated with maps, chandeliers, and polished tables. Outside, Berlin moved on with its winter routines. Inside, powerful men spoke calmly, politely, about land they had never seen, rivers, borders, resources. They spoke as if the land were empty, but it wasn't. The meeting would later be known as the Berlin Conference. Its official purpose was simple: to prevent European powers from fighting each other over Africa, not to protect Africans, not to consult African rulers, only to ensure order, European order. By the late 1800s, Europe was hungry, hungry for rubber, hungry for gold, hungry for land and labor. Industrial machines needed raw materials, and Africa had them. The meeting wasn't about discovery, it was about division. At the center of the room lay a map of Africa. Straight lines were drawn, rivers became borders, ethnic groups were split apart, ancient kingdoms were merged with rivals. The pen moved faster than history. No one asked, "Who lives here? Who has ruled this land for centuries? What happens after we leave?" One rule changed everything. It was called effective occupation. A European power could claim African land if it proved it could control it, by force if necessary. This single rule triggered military invasions, forced labor, resource extraction, colonial violence on a massive scale. Africa was no longer a place. It was a prize. By 1914, nearly 90% of Africa was under foreign rule. Borders drawn in Berlin remained, even after independence. Conflicts erupted where nations had never existed before. Economies were reshaped to export, not develop. The meeting ended. Its consequences did not. No bombs fell in that room, no soldiers marched. Yet few events in history caused more suffering, because sometimes the most violent acts in history happen quietly, around a table. This was one meeting, and Africa has never been the same.